All right, Big Man. Today is Thursday. It is February 5th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Today I'm joined in studio by Barstool's newest hire, Ronny Doitche. Ronnie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Eddie. Appreciate it.
Doitche, I'm excited for this interview because this is the first time where we've talked. We did the 999 or the 99 challenge at the Wrigley rooftop together, and when we always had a nice friendly banter and everything, but we never really got to know each other. So I'm excited to kind of fly blind and hear about the story of Doitche.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I agree. That day was like, I wanted to have fun, and I was like looking forward to talking to everyone and getting to know everybody more. But once they brought out those jumbo dogs that were twice the size of the average hot dog, and Joey Chestnut looked at us and was like, you guys are fucked. There's no way you're going to be able to finish those. I just knew I had to put up a big number. So I just kept my head down and ate and drank as much as I could.
Yeah, like there's no more reason to be scared than when Joey Chestnut tells you you're fucked when he sees a hot dog.
Absolutely.
They were huge.
If they were just the normal, like, junior dogs with the cast we had, I thought it was just going to be like a fun afternoon. But when they were revealed and then Chestnut's like, you guys are fucked, and he was laughing, it was no longer fun for me. I knew I was going to have to put up a big number, or you guys would be like, why did we even bring him? Why did we bring this guy here?
You had a lot of pressure on you for sure.
So, I mean, I was enjoying your conversation with Chestnut. You guys were pretty hilarious. The banter was good, but I kind of was just like listening and not talking to anybody that day.
Yeah, you were locked in.
Yeah.
What was your final total?
I think I did 13 dogs and 17 beers. It got to the point where the beers we didn't need any help with the beers.
Yes.
Everybody had to just focus on the dogs. And I hit a couple walls. What let me get a couple more down is Dana Beers was drinking Diet Coke. And he let me have a sip of it. And just the change of flavor or texture, whatever it was, it helped me get a couple more down.
That was huge.
Yeah.
It was a laborious activity, especially the hot dogs. Like you said, you got to the point no one wanted to jump on dogs because it was just impossible to fit any more down your throat. But Chestnut, I still stand that he made me really think that day. When he's like, because he was getting all our faces, stop being pussies, start eating. And I'm like, Joey, I'm so full. I can't fit anything in my stomach anymore. And he's like, listen, yeah, you're full, but that doesn't mean you have to stop eating. I was like, what do you mean by that, Joey? He's like, think about it. When you're tired, do you always have to take a nap? I was like, no. He's like, then you don't got to stop eating. I was like, I've never heard that comparison, but I don't know if that's in the competitive eater circles, but regardless, I was, it made me think.
Yeah. I mean, he was saying the same thing to me, and it made no sense because it's like you're bench pressing. You physically can't do another rep, and someone's telling you, like, you're not tired, you can do another rep. I couldn't fit anything else.
No, it was crazy.
But his stomach's obviously different.
Hey, before we really get cooking here, guys, I want to talk about ChevyDriveChicago.com. We are starting this year off right. We're with big news. You guys have already heard it, and I hope you've entered already. If you haven't entered already, tell a friend, because we're giving away a Chevy. That's right, you could win a car. You could win a Chevy car, okay? ChevyDriveChicago.com wants to give you a chance to win the car that you want. That's right. You get to pick which car you want to win. Pick it, win it, drive it. So many great cars to pick from in the Chevy lineup. There is one that's perfect for what you need, okay? Need a truck you can depend on? Obviously, the Silverado's there for you. Or if you want to go EV, that Equinox EV is nice. And maybe you want an SUV. You can get that Equinox or a Blazer if that's what you need. Go check it out. It's so easy to enter to win. Just go to that website, ChevyDriveChicago.com, and you click that tab and you fill out like a few questions. It would take you less than 5 minutes. In the meantime, go shop your pick at your local Chevy dealer today. The official partner of the Chicago Bears. Shout out to Chevy. But yeah, so we just hired you last week officially?
I think actually my first day is February 2nd.
Oh, so technically you're not even on.
No,
You're just a volunteer employee right now.
Yeah, I'm here looking for apartments, and there's a couple things. I did After Dark last Thursday, and I've just been hanging out. I've been on a couple different things, but nothing officially like this.
So how old are you?
Turning 37 in March.
Okay. And you're from New Hampshire, right?
I am.
From New Hampshire. And what were you doing before this?
Before this, I was working for Garage Beers, the Kelsey's beer brand, and I was traveling the country, especially during football season. I'd try to find a college game and an NFL game in the same city, and I'd set up my table, which is basically just a chug table. I had a sign made up that says, "You're 20 versus my 100. I can drink a beer quicker than you."
And you were a full-time employee with Garage Beers or no?
No, I don't know how that really worked. But
So they were just a sponsor, or how did, like, what was the...
yeah, they were a sponsor. It was the only beer that I posted for like a year and a half.
Uh-huh. And would they pay you like per event, or how would that work?
It was just like a rate, like a monthly rate. I had to post a certain amount.
Gotcha. So you had a certain amount of
video.
videos with Garage Beer.
Yeah.
And they gave you a monthly rate.
And I also did a lot of, if they wanted to do like promo events, they'd fly me. Like I went to Oklahoma State for 2 nights, and if they're trying to push Garage Beers, I do stuff like that too.
And we're going to get into all of it, but so that was you had no other job besides that. You were living off that at that point.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah. And what about before that?
Before that, I was doing the same kind of thing for Friday Beers,
Okay.
and that didn't last quite as long.
Okay.
But yeah, same kind of thing.
So what were you doing before you started drinking beers for money?
I've had a lot of different jobs. Before that, I was working for Sig Sauer, the gun manufacturer, in like the shipping department.
Okay.
I have a whole list.
Yeah, I would love you to go down the list. Well, what did you let's even go back further. What did you want to do, like when you were in high school and college?
I didn't really ever have anything that I really wanted to do.
Where'd you go to college?
Plymouth State University.
And that's where you played basketball?
Yeah, it's a small Division III school. Not north, but it's probably like in the middle of New Hampshire, in the mountains.
And you played all 4 years?
I played all 4 years, yes.
Nice. So you're D3 basketball, and what was your major?
Business administration, but that was only because that's what everyone else was doing.
Gotcha.
And we had like all the tests from the team's previous years, so it was a pretty easy... I guess I should have done better than a 2.82, but it was. I'm convinced that like a smart 12-year-old girl could graduate from there. No problem.
No problem, especially if you got the tests.
Yes.
So, and you didn't know what you want. You never knew what you wanted to do as a kid or a college student?
No, I mean, I never knew what I wanted to do. And I mean, after college, a lot of my friends got married or had kids. I still feel the same age. I still feel like I'm 20 years old.
Yeah.
So had a lot of different jobs, but I never found anything that I like really liked.
Okay. So then I guess let's start after Plymouth State, because that, like, your adult life. What did you do after that?
Let's see.
And when we're talking a lot of jobs, are we talking like 10?
Oh, yeah. So graduated. My uncle works for a company that moves furniture into hotels. I did that for a little while. Like, they'll take the old furniture out and put in like new furniture. Did that. I worked for Green Leads as a business development rep. That was kind of just like setting meetings for salespeople, and that was a real nightmare. You had to make like 100 dials a day, and I was just pretending to call people to get those 100 dials so I didn't get in trouble.
Because they monitor your phone?
They monitored the phone, and I like would just sneak by. I think I was making $30,000 a year base, and I think it would be an extra $1,000 if you hit your quota. So you could make like 42 to maybe like 45, but I was making like $30,000 a year.
Okay.
That was tough. I don't know if you want me to keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Why not?
I worked for Modern Pest Services as just like a pest guy.
You were an exterminator?
I was an exterminator for a little while. That was...
How long was that?
Probably like 6 months. And that wasn't bad. I had a company car that had like beetles and bugs all over it. I think I was like 24 or 25, so I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Showing up to parties in like the exterminator car was always a good laugh. And then...
Why'd you stop that?
Someone convinced me that I should go into the wildlife part of the company, which is like raccoons in the house and bats. What else was there? There was bed bugs, and that was just even worse. So within a week, I quit.
Okay.
I couldn't go back to the other side.
What was the other side?
It was like wildlife control. So there's like the pest side, which is mice, bugs, hornets, wasps. Wildlife side is animals like flying squirrels getting into your attic, shitting everywhere, stuff like that.
What's the animal that stopped you in your tracks? You said, I can't do this anymore.
Bed bugs was rough.
Bed bugs are fucked up.
Because then you feel itchy, like getting out of the house. We got rid of the bed bugs by heating the house to, I think it was like 140, 150, 160 degrees, and that's supposed to kill everything. But still, you go home and you were in a hoarder's house all day, and something like touches the back of your neck, and you're like, I'm definitely bringing home bed bugs.
Do you think you brought them home or no?
Definitely dead ones, but you'd find them on your clothes. But I don't think I ever infested, to my knowledge, any house that I ever lived in.
So the bed bugs are so serious that they're on the wildlife side, huh?
Yeah, that was a different sector.
That's interesting. I figured they'd be pests with all the other bugs.
I was kind of like this old man's, like, I did all the grunt work for this old man who, like, really loved doing it. And I think they were going to train me how to do it after him. But it wasn't very much fun.
No.
I was also afraid of heights. So you get up into Maine and New Hampshire, there's a lot of 3-story houses with like very steep roofs. And you're making like $16, $17, $18 an hour. And you don't want to risk falling off a roof trying to like
take the bats out.
Build bats out.
Yeah.
Covering up any openings where they can get in. So I got out of that pretty quickly.
Damn. If only you didn't leave the pest side, Deutsch, you would have maybe still been there.
I could have still been there.
If you didn't leave the pest side.
That honestly wasn't that bad because
the pest side?
You didn't really have to deal with anyone. You had your own little pest car and you had 5 to 10 stops every day, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah. And it was just, hey, I got a rat or a mouse.
Rat, mice, a lot of it was ants. Ants are easy. You just go in and put down whatever it is.
The bait.
Bait that's going to go kill them.
All right, so then you move to the wildlife side, and you're like, hey, I'm not built for this, I'm leaving, and then where do you go after there?
I got involved with adjusting. I was, like, for homes. Like, if a tree falls on a home, I'd go and try to figure out how much damage there was and what was covered, what wasn't covered. So I went to training for, like, 6 months in Indianapolis for that, which still wasn't enough. I had no idea what was going on when I got back. And they were throwing me to the wolves. Like, there'd be a fire, and they expected me to figure out how to rebuild the home.
And you were how old?
I was probably like 25, 26.
Okay. And you were in over your head.
Way in over my head.
So
my first job was like a recycling plant in Maine caught fire. And I had to go up there and meet with a bunch of contractors, and they can tell right away that you have no idea what's going on. They're talking about stuff, and it was just so embarrassing. I stuck it out for a couple months.
And then that was it?
That was it, yeah.
Well, what's after this then?
After that...
You still got 10 more years.
Oh, I have a lot. I'm not a quarter of the way done.
No, really?
Yeah. I worked for the Nielsen television ratings.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
So they sent me to Tampa for, actually Oldsmar, which is next to Tampa, for 6 months, training for that, which was awesome. I always enjoyed the training because it was a bunch of 25, 26-year-old guys, and we just go out every night.
Yeah.
So, and I was in Tampa in the winter. So that was all right. You know how they can tell how many people like watch the Super Bowl every year? That's the only way I ever heard about the Nielsen television ratings.
I follow it. Or I did a good bit because I was like big into radio.
Okay.
And that was always kind of interesting. And it's just kind of a good way to gauge what's super popular and what's not. It's always been kind of interesting to me. But I've never really understood how it worked. From what I understand, guys like you just go to random households and they ask people if they want their box Nielsen rated. Is that correct?
Yeah. So they pretty much pick like one home to represent like 50,000 homes in that area. with the same like race, age, how much money people make. It's not real accurate. When they say this is how many people watch the Super Bowl, they're not telling every single household. So basically I'd get a list. There'd be one household that they really wanted. I'd show up with like a gift, a basket with like whatever I wanted to put in the basket and balloons, act like they won this huge like prize, and then try to convince them to let us hook up our software and their television, computer, all of that. I'm not sure what it might be different now with cell phones. I'm not even sure.
And why would you guys zero in on these certain families?
I think that they were just trying to gauge. They knew they couldn't get exact detail to every single house, but if it was like a Spanish neighborhood, they'd try to pick the right family they thought fit best, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I've never really understood though, but if there's mixed ages in the house, like how do they know? And obviously mixed genders, like how do they know? Like if, men 18 to 38 or whatever. I've never understood that, but sounds like they don't really know either.
I don't know the science behind it. I just get a list.
Yeah.
Like, this is the household they really want. If that doesn't go well, you get less commission the farther down you go. Like it's a big deal for whatever reason to sign the very first house. Like they want you to be very persistent.
And are these people excited when you show up with balloons and stuff?
I think they're excited at first until they realize that they're like getting bugged and whatever they're looking at, porn, everything is being monitored.
It's probably a lot harder to get people to do this now, I assume.
I'd assume so.
Yeah, people are more worried about that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But
that wasn't bad. They gave me a 2016 Ford Fusion to drive around.
Nice.
Which was the nicest vehicle I've ever had.
So why did you leave there?
They just kept sending me to like through Boston, and from New Hampshire, it's not that bad. Without traffic, it's not terrible. But say I have one household I really need to go to. If every time I drive there, they're just not home, it kind of sucks. Like there were some houses like south of Boston, I'd have to drive through Boston like every day that week, and the people were never home.
And you could never call and be like, hey, can I meet up with you? You had to do on the spot, walk up to the door and ring the doorbell techniques.
I think a lot of it is the shock factor. Like what would you do? You probably think you won like Publishers Clearinghouse, but it's really not that great. You're getting, I forgot, depending on how rare the family was, you might get like $50 to $100 a month. Maybe it'll pay your like cell phone bill or something, but it's not this like grand prize by any means.
All right, so the travel was too much. So then you move on to what?
After that, I worked at Latitude Sports Clubs in membership sales, and that job was pretty good. It wasn't bad. Free gym membership, free smoothies, really low pressure. For the most part, if people go to the gym, they're going to want to sign up. It's not like a real hard close. Also, if you're in a town with like, there's either the really nice gym with a basketball court, sauna, all of that, and then there's Planet Fitness. That was good and bad. It was all commission. So I was driving into Massachusetts every day. All commission. Some days you sell 10 memberships. It was $50 for every sale. That was a really good day. But other days I'm going through the tolls, haven't sold a thing. So there are definitely highs and lows to that. But for the most part, it was good.
How many people live in the town that you grew up in?
20,000 right now.
Okay. And was it pretty self-sufficient, or do you guys have a lot of like big box retailers and stuff, or do you guys have to like travel to go to like the store?
No, in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, we have like a BJ's. We probably have like we have like 4 or 5 supermarkets. It's not.
Oh, so it's a big town.
Yeah, it's a city.
Okay.
The surrounding towns, it can be a pain to get to the store. They could be like 15.
Got it. I was just asking
away.
Because all these jobs, it sounds like you had to travel so far to go to.
A lot of them, yeah.
So then you move on, and what's next?
Bottom Line Technologies, and I worked there for a week. That was another phone sales job. When I was working there, I actually got offered a different job. So I finished out the week I didn't handle it very well. I didn't tell anyone I got a new job. I kind of just vanished. But then I realized that I left my passport on my desk in that office, and I needed the passport for the next job, and I obviously needed my passport. So a week after I didn't show up, I tried to sneak back into the office with my badge that they made for me, and the alarm went off, and I was talking to the guy at the front desk, and I gave him my name, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're the guy they were talking about." So then the two people that hired me came down and put me in a fishbowl and basically just yelled at me. And I was pretty young, but I still handled that really poorly because they were worried about my well-being because I just didn't show up.
Yeah.
And then after getting yelled at for like 30 minutes, they're like, "We mailed your passport back." So
Oh, no.
I could have gone without showing my face in there. That was a bad one.
That's a tough beat, Deutsch.
That was a tough one. From there, I was at Northwestern Mutual as a campus recruiter. Basically, I'd just go to college campuses and try to convince a lot of like business students to come in and just be like summer interns.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big problem. A big program. Excuse me. I remember a bunch of college friends being like, "Hey, can we sit down and talk about Northwestern Mutual?"
Yeah, it's also like a nightmare. It sounds good because everyone wants that internship, but then when you get in there, you realize that you have to list the 200 people that are closest to you that could possibly have money, and then it's a nightmare job. Reaching out to a lot of probably friends, family.
Yeah, dude, I remember
your
friends
parents'
being like, "Oh, I
friends.
noticed you're friends with this guy on LinkedIn. Like, can you set up a meeting with him?" Like, I'm like, "Dude, no."
But
What?
also, like, you're sitting there with a very well-off 55-year-old guy, and you're 20 years old. You're hungover from like the night before, and you're trying to convince him to invest with you.
Yeah.
And the guy already has his act together.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's part of the game.
I sneaky worked an internship in Milwaukee at Northwestern Mutual.
Did you?
Oh,
I
wow.
probably put effort in for about a week and a half, and then like Deutsch is saying, it's just you kind of get in, you're like, "Oh, this is a cushy job. I'm in a cool office," and you're like, "Wait, this is the worst job ever," you know. And then they paid you $100 a week stipend when I did it, so I kind of just did what Deutsch did. I faked my calls, got my stipend, I got the hell out of there.
But
Yeah. But that's what it was, right?
That's
You're
what it
like,
was.
"Hey, like I noticed you're friend with this person. Could you set up a meeting with them?"
Yeah, and they would like go through who you follow on social media, stuff like that. It was wild.
the people who do well at that, they have no conscience. Like they don't feel bad for
Hitting everybody up.
pestering people over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's good money. I think once you build a book of business, like you're kind of set. But to get to that point, you're probably going to annoy a lot of people.
Yeah, those people are grinding if you made it there.
Right,
You grinded your ass off.
right.
Okay, so that obviously wasn't a fit. Not many have been a fit so far.
No, haven't had a good fit so far. Then I did.
I'm sure some people are like, "All right, move on from this," but I'm fascinated by this right now. So
Okay.
I want to keep hearing. Aren't you?
Yeah, this is pretty interesting.
This is
Yeah.
very interesting.
Then I did mold remediation sales. So if there was mold in an attic or a basement, I'd go in and try to figure out what it would take to clean out the mold. A lot of it, like in the attic, it would be remove and replace the insulation,
Yeah.
clean all the sheathing, all that. And that was actually pretty good. Again, it was just all commission. So one job I sold for $75,000 and I got like $7,500. That was a really good day. But there'd also be weeks where people are getting like 5 to 10 different quotes and you're driving all over New England.
And you're just not making shit.
You're not making any money. You're going through tolls. You're filling up your tank.
Yeah.
Rent's coming up. That could definitely be a nightmare.
Yeah. So, all right, not for you.
No. Then, for some reason, I think I just needed another job, but same kind of thing, 10% commission, windows, roofing, and vinyl siding. Same result, same exact thing. Once in a while, like, I'm not like, you can tell, like, I'm not like a real salesperson. If people want to buy from me, they're just like, "Oh, he's a nice guy. We have money. We're not going to shop around." I'm not like putting pressure on people.
Yeah.
I just don't have that in me.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like, I just be like, "Oh, you don't want," I just leave. So
So at this point, was there any thought in your head to be like, hey, maybe a commission job's not for me?
I think the commission jobs were just like really quick to get back into it. Like
Easy.
I needed money and I didn't want to like wait 2 weeks to start. And then I think it kind of just like fell into my lap. And I think they might have given like $400 or $500 for the training.
Got it. Makes sense. So in the midst of all this, are you kind of, so because you're like, what, 27, 28 now at this timeline?
I think I'm getting closer to 30.
All right, so you're closer to 30. Is there any sort of, man, this is life's tough, like this sucks?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of sleepless nights.
Okay. Because you seem like a very undisturbed kind of guy. So that's why I'm curious to get into it.
I think that was the only point, was the all commission, because I needed to make enough money just for like rent. And like I'm very simple. I don't need to make a lot of money. That was the only time where it was really stressful.
Because you needed to live.
Yeah.
And were you living at home still, or were you?
No, I had an apartment with a couple of my buddies.
Okay.
Living with like 2 other buddies, so it was like very cheap.
Okay. Nice. So, but that are you kind of like dejected by life at this point, or are you kind of just?
No, I mean, as long as I was making a little bit of money, I was still having a lot of fun going out all the time. It's just when you start running out of money and then you start looking at, I need to sell this or I'm in trouble, that's when things get like really stressful.
Mm-hmm. So your job life, your career life was basically just, I need money to live, and there's no maybe higher, I don't want to say motivation, but higher desire for like a career where I want some self, like a passion of some sort. There was none of that.
I never came across anything like that. I didn't know where to look. I just
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just curious. You know, I think a lot of people are probably like that, where they don't really have a burning desire to have this professional life that they've craved. So that's why I'm just curious. All right. So what's next?
Next, I got into lobstering. I'm like, the next job I have, I want it to be in town. I was able to walk to the boat from my house. And there's definitely some ups and downs with that, but that was just kind of a fun job. It's obviously hard work, but you're on a boat, you're pulling traps, it's kind of exciting. That was fun for the most part until the weather started to turn. And then you're doing it in November and December, and it's like in the teens, maybe lower. The salt water's actually like freezing on the boat, you're slipping. At that point, it's kind of dangerous. Really enjoyed the experience. It was a lot of fun. But after that season ended, I was like, all right, I can't do that again.
You're done with it.
Yep.
All right. So no more lobstering.
And then after that, I kind of just got in. That put me into like COVID, and I started doing like some of the beer stuff. I was, a lot of it was just racing people. I'd set up times where I'd race like 10 people in a beer, from between like $20 and $50 per race, set up a FaceTime, make money that way. I was also like, there's only so much I thought I could advertise when it comes to beer, but I was doing a lot of advertising for like, I don't know, t-shirts, different products, like shotgunning tools, things like that. That's how I kind of got into that.
Okay. So at what age or at what moment did you realize you could drink a beer really fast?
I realized when I was in like 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah. The Man Show on Comedy Central.
Yep.
There was a guy that would come on and he could do the exact same thing. He'd have a mug of beer and just pour it directly down.
Have you ever met this guy?
He's dead.
Oh, damn.
I would have liked to meet him.
That would have been an awesome head-to-head.
He was like a real showman. Like he'd play the piano and he'd take beers and just like drink them right off the top of the piano. But he was on the Man Show, and we were watching that. I was at my buddy's house sleeping over, and we're like, we got to learn how to do that. So we went over the kitchen sink and tried it a couple times, and I figured out I could just pour it down.
Okay, because it is a mechanism where you're able to open your throat, right? Or not?
I don't think it's a mechanism. I think anybody could do it. If my brain was in your head, I'd have no problem doing it.
Yeah.
Weird to talk about, but your throat to drain. If you go like this it's going to pour down like it's going to pour down any drain.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's a mental block. Everybody thinks, oh, I got to stop. I got to take individual sips. It's just not the case.
Yeah, no, you're true. So were your buddies just in awe when you did it?
Oh, it was a lot of like, you win a basketball game in 7th or 8th grade, coach gives you Gatorades, and everyone's like, you got to watch this. And I'd do it with like the 20-ounce Gatorade.
Really? You would just hammer it?
I'd just hammer it. Would set up races with other people. It wasn't a huge part of my life, but it was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then you get to the point, so I'm sure this was it your party trick all throughout college and everything?
Oh, yeah. Like, I showed up at college. I didn't know anybody. I mean, that definitely gets you in there. Obviously, I'm not like the kind of guy who goes in and meets everybody and is loud and friendly right away. I kind of like keep to myself a little bit. But once I started doing that, everybody was like, who is this guy? This is awesome. The problem with it is whenever one more person walks into the party, it's like, hey, Jeff, you got to see this. And then Jeff sees it. I drink another beer. And then Nick walks in. It got to a point, and also I was kind of a lightweight at that point. So 7, 8 beers, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
That was a little bit dangerous, but yeah.
What's the most amount of beers you've had in one night?
I don't know about one night, but I think I've definitely done like 45 to 50 in like a day.
And is that one of those like morning tailgates and you're just ripping all night?
That was like a Martha's Vineyard. You wake up at 6 a.m, you start, and they're just going down so smooth. It's hot, so you're sweating. You're drinking it like it's water. And then you're up to like 2 a.m.
Oh, so this wasn't even a challenge video.
No.
This was just with your friends.
This is just that. There's probably been other times where it's been close to that, but I really remember that was a strong outing that day.
A strong outing.
In Martha's Vineyard.
You gave it your all. It was a 10-inning complete game shutout.
Yeah.
So if we're watching a game, though, you'll just sip a beer, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
You won't, like, you don't exclusively chug that way.
No,
like,
no,
drink
no.
beers that way.
I prefer, I mean, if someone wants to chug a beer with me and they chug it too, I'm never going to say no. Like, people in my hometown will be like, will you chug a beer with me? I'm like, yeah, if you get it and you chug it too, no problem.
You're in.
Yeah.
So COVID comes, you don't have a job, so you just did this out of necessity. Yeah. There wasn't a thing where you're like, I can do this, I want to maximize my talents. You're just like, I need a job and this is the one talent. I'm sure you have other talents, but this is maybe my biggest talent.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do.
Well, actually, before that, I was working for Farmers Insurance, doing the same kind of property damage type deal.
Yeah.
And that's why I changed my name. Obviously, what I'm doing isn't illegal, but it's definitely frowned upon. Mm-hmm. If one of my higher ups saw that I had a page just where I'm drinking beers as quick as I can.
Have you released your name?
I haven't.
Okay. For some reason, Dana told me you had on the Yak, so I wasn't sure because...
Maybe they did.
They did? Okay. You
Maybe
don't have to.
Maybe they
if
did.
You don't want to. Because when he sent me your contact and I saw your real name, I was like, I can't believe your name's not Ronny Doitche.
Really disappoints a lot of people. People love to say Deutsch. I think that's why things have gone so well, specifically just based on the Yak, their infatuation with saying Deutsch. If I picked a different name, I don't think I'd be here.
So it's not only your beer drinking ability, it's your name.
I think it's the name. If it was Bagwell or anything else, I don't think the Yak would have ever had the infatuation to keep bringing me back, to keep talking about me. I think that's the only reason I'm here is Deutsch.
Where did you get the name Ronnie Deutsch?
There was it was a woman, she had commercials 2009 to maybe 2013. I don't know if she was like a tax collector or like a lawyer, but she had a commercial and it would start by her saying, "Hi, I'm Ronny Deutsch." And she said it in just a crazy voice. So when I was in college, I'd make all my buddies shut up. I'm like, shut up, the commercial. We got to listen to the commercial. So then they all started calling me Ronnie or Deutsch. So all my college friends, even after college, called me Ronnie or Deutsch up until COVID. So then when I'm working at Farmers Insurance and I need a new name, I'm like, what the hell? I'll Ronny Deutsch and I'll just spell it differently.
Has the real Ronny Deutsch ever reached out?
Never heard from her. I think she might have gotten into some kind of
Trouble?
trouble. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but
I feel like we need to complete that link up.
then I'm worried she might get mad at me for using the
Your name?
the Deutsch
Yeah.
name. I think she's like Deut. It's something.
Got it. But she's got to understand it's all love, right? It's all respect.
It is all respect. I'd love to meet her.
Yeah, imagine doing a beer with her.
Oh my God,
I think we have to make this happen.
that would be insane.
You got to do it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
That'd be sick.
And she know how she could start it off.
She could do the commercial.
Hi, I'm Ronny Deutsch. And they could be like, no, I'm Ronnie Deutsch. Just something like that at the Yug station.
At the Yug station.
The problem is one out of every 10,000 people would get it. Like, Wonton instantly goes, Ronny Deutsch. That's from the commercial. Because I think it might have only aired in, like, New England.
Yeah.
So 5 times a year, someone will DM me, and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that somebody gets it.
You know what? I don't get it. I mean, I understand. I get it now because you explained it, but I've never seen the commercial, so it doesn't hit as well as it probably would for those people. And I could tell you, I want to see it. I want to see Ronnie Deutsch drink a beer with Ronnie Deutsch.
Well, definitely YouTube the old commercial. It's available. And then if we could set that up, I'd guess that she'd probably be in her 50s. Beautiful brunette woman.
We got to get her in.
It would be incredible.
We got to get her here, Deutsch.
Hopefully she's still, who knows? I don't know where she
well.
is. I haven't seen anything. And I could be wrong. For some reason, I thought I looked it up at some point and there were some sort of issue.
Well, we'll look into that. Hopefully it's not too bad. And she's past it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You said you were getting sponsors doing the videos. You got to get some following before you get the sponsors. How did you get your following? Do you remember did you just have a big video?
No. I kind of, it's weird doing this. Sometimes, like, the best video that you think you have does terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have a video, I'm like, I'm embarrassed to even post this. And it goes crazy. It was a slow climb. I think within the first year, I might have been up to like 50,000. And then it slowly, now I'm probably like 5 years in.
And at some point, once you get some followers, then you're reaching out to companies, be like, hey, can I use your shotgun tool as a ad? And then they would pay you money. And that's how you made your living throughout COVID.
Yes. But the thing is, 93% of my following is male. They're all, for the most part, 25 to 40-year-old beer drinkers. So I don't have the biggest following in the world, but if you want like a specific group of people,
You're the guy.
I'm the guy.
Yeah.
People who drink beer, people who are going to get a kick out of a shotgun tool or a funnel or anything beer related. I got a lot of stuff like that. Hangover drinks,
Okay. That was
pills, stuff like that.
That was big. So be honest then. When Barstool had their drinking guy and it was Dana Beers and you knew how much faster you could drink a beer than him, were you like, this is an injustice?
I never felt that way because Dana advocated for me like right away when he was doing the zillion beers.
Mm-hmm.
We talked like quite a bit. It was never like, I could tell how nice of a guy he was, and he's obviously very funny, and I get a kick out of everything he does. It got to a point where he's like, I think he texted me, he's like, I don't know how much I can keep, like, you just like drink faster than me. Like, and it was never like a competition or anything.
That's a testament to Dana, because you're right. He's just such a nice guy where I remember he saw it and he's like, this guy might put me out of business, but he still reposted you and stuff, right? Yeah.
No, he totally did that. And if roles were reversed, would I have done that? Probably not.
Maybe not, because you don't want to,
But not only did he like advocate for me, when it came to a point, like he could have just ignored me.
Yeah.
Which most people would do.
For sure.
He like texted me. He's like, hey man, like a big fan of yours, but I don't know how much, like this is what I do. And like, you just drink faster than me. Do you know how respectful you have to be to
do that?
Most people just ghost the person.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I've been a fan of Dana's. And it doesn't matter how fast he drinks. This whole zillion thing was just so funny.
Yeah, it was incredible. One of the best Barstool storylines. One of my personal favorites, at least.
Especially like at that time.
Yeah.
During COVID. Like
for sure.
I was wearing a Zillion Beers shirt.
Yeah.
like sneaking around, trying to like get together with more than like 2 or 3 people.
For sure.
That was a tough time to be alive.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right, man. Is there a point there where you're like, I need to stop doing this, or has there ever been that thought where you don't like doing it anymore?
My whole thing was, if it ever stays the same or it ever is like regressing, I'm losing followers, people aren't liking my stuff, it's getting stale, at that point I would have just quit and then I never had any problem with just finding a normal job and just like working in a factory or something, doing whatever I was doing before.
So really, you realize how cool it is to work at Barstool. Like, I'm sure you've always wanted to get hired, right?
If it wasn't for Barstool, I don't know if I would have ever made a drinking video.
Really?
Yeah. There's only so many places that I thought I could work. Like,
but you weren't really motivated by like, oh, that seems like an awesome life. You just wanted a job, though, you said, right? Or did you, or is that not true?
I mean, since I can remember 2008, 2009, 2010, I've been very, very into everything Barstool.
But it wasn't like your dream job, right? It wasn't.
It always
was.
It
Okay,
always,
so you did have some career aspirations.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I guess I did, but I mean, at that point, it was so far-fetched.
Like, you didn't really think of how I'm going to make it happen, but it's like, that would be cool someday.
Right. It's like you want to be a professional athlete, but it's not going to happen.
Yes.
If you asked, like, yeah, I wanted to work at Barstool.
Sure. Okay, so that was one of the things that fit into that box where it's such a unique place that you would always be like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely painted myself into a corner as far as what I can do. Barstool's one of the few companies where I could come in and fit in and do this kind of content.
Have you met Dave yet?
Briefly. When I showed up for the first PMT internship interview, I flew out lobster meat from New Hampshire, and I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a briefcase, make lobster rolls for the Pardon My Take boys, and then chug a half a gallon of chocolate milk. I've listened to Pardon My Take forever. I'm like, I know these guys. If I show up and do that, there's no way I'm not getting this internship. So I show up. PFT's like, this guy's, I don't think he was interested in the lobster roll. Big Cat didn't want the lobster roll. So I just have a lobster roll sitting in the briefcase with ice leaking, and I have a half gallon of chocolate milk. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing so good here. I chugged the half gallon of chocolate milk, and I was like, there's no way I don't get this. Didn't get it. I think they just thought I was really fucking weird.
Yeah, listen, there's stuff like that you can get on people's radar here, or it could go the opposite way where you're like, I don't know about that guy. We might see him on the news soon.
Right. And then, like, before I got a chance to talk to anybody, I was the weird chugging guy with the murderous glasses. And I feel like everybody liked me and they loved saying Deutsch. I feel like I needed to get a little bit closer with some of the people. Like, I went out with Nick one day and we had like a really good time. And I think he went back to the Yak and probably said positive things. They also found out that I was flying around the country on the Frontier Go Wild Pass, and they all got a huge kick out of that.
Explain what that is, because I wrote that down.
Yeah, they Frontier wants to fill their flights as much as you can. So for like $299 for like 6 to 8 months, if you buy this pass, you can fly anywhere in the country for $15. The problem is that there's like nightmare layovers, and sometimes it takes like over 24 hours to get to your destination. But when you're trying to fly somewhere cheap and you don't have very much money, that's the best option there is.
Because Garage Beers was not covering your travel.
They were the second year. The first year, it was all on me. The first year, I put like 30 to 40,000 miles on my deceased grandfather's Ford Fusion, just driving all around the country.
And staying at $40 a night.
Trying to do it as cheap as I possibly could.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it makes sense. Just grinding it out.
I drove from New Hampshire to Green Bay for the Thanksgiving Day game last year versus Miami, I think. I got caught in Chicago traffic heading up to Green Bay. That was a tough drive.
Yeah, that is a tough drive. And you mentioned it briefly off the top of the podcast, but for people that don't know, what he used to do is he would have a table, and it would say, you pay 20, I will give you 100 if you beat me.
Right.
So would you get to keep that money?
I did. It got to a point where I don't care about the 20. I want somebody who honestly thinks they're going to drink a beer faster than me.
Out of 10 people, how many think they could drink it faster than you?
I mean, out of a group of 5 guys, like a friend group, if they haven't seen me drink before, there's usually one guy that everyone thinks is the fastest drinker on earth.
For sure. Everyone's got a guy in their crew that they think is the guy.
Doesn't every group of 5 to 10 guys like, oh my God, there's no way you're beating this guy? And
yeah.
Then I get a little bit nervous because, oh, he must be that good. But I could tell right away if I was going to beat him, because if you're holding the cup normally without squeezing it, there's no way you can pour it down without spilling it.
Faster.
You're going to be taking gulps. Sometimes I'd get real nervous. Like, a guy can do it like I can do it. He's squeezing the cup, and I'm like, here we go. Whoever gets it to their lips fastest, puts it down fastest, is going to win.
Have you ever been beaten?
Not tailgating. I went on to... This really sucked. I went on to Jason Kelsey had like a Tonight Show, and we did like a race for Super Bowl tickets. And hate making excuse. It was just like a different glass. It wasn't a pint glass. It was like the mugs like Dana has downstairs.
Yeah.
And those are just like a tube. It's straight up. It's tougher to just like throw it back.
Yeah.
The kid's just as fast as I am, and he's one of the nicest kids in the world. And he got to the beer quicker, put it down a little bit quicker. That sucked. That was for Super Bowl tickets. And then we did it again with Kelsey, and the second time I beat him. I actually had to do it with 2 hands, and like you can't like throw it back out of those cups.
Do you still think about that loss at all?
That was a nightmare.
It haunts you?
Oh yeah, the first time you get on national TV, and it's been my thing for 5 years, that night sucked.
What channel was it on?
I think it
was like a Peacock or something. It's like a streamer. I don't remember him doing that.
I thought it might have been on ESPN. I'm not.
Oh,
sure.
Maybe yeah.
I think it was, but it was on late at night.
So you're telling me you've only lost one time in your life?
Yes.
And it was on national TV.
Yes. So then the second time we did it.
I'm sorry to laugh, but that
was low.
That's horrifying.
Yeah. But what made me feel better was we did it again and I won. It was just a different style of cup.
Yeah. And did you know, does this kid do videos too?
Yeah, he has way more followers than I do on like TikTok. With chugging, if you want to chug soda or Gatorade or anything like that, you can get a way bigger following on TikTok. When I post a video on TikTok and it's beer, it just gets flagged.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. There's kids on TikTok, they don't want
that
alcohol, but
are you and this guy friendly, or do you view him as a rival?
It was interesting seeing him in person. He's like a wicked nice guy. He's like probably 6'7", really good shape, so handsome, like really good looking dude. That kind of hurt more. I mean, if he was just like some big ogre, I would have been like, whatever. It was just interesting, like losing to him hurt more than I think like a big hairy guy that's just like slams beers.
Yeah. Was it tough to go back to New Hampshire after that?
You know, like I posted the video and I'm like, here we go. And everybody was just like so supportive. Everybody was like so nice for the most part. I think a lot of people are like, yeah, it's fine. We just wanted to see you lose.
Oh, yeah.
It gets a little bit stale. I mean, you can't win every
time.
Yeah.
How many people have you found that can do the same technique as you, though?
Probably like 5 to 10.
Okay, so it's that rare.
I feel like it. The thing that helps me is who's taking more reps at it than me.
Yeah, for sure, because like you said, as soon as you see that squeeze,
yep,
it triggers, you know you got to be quick to your mouth.
Right. I'm doing 10 per tailgate, at least, 2 times a week, so that's between probably 20 and 25 chugs. That's a lot of repetition.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's also, some kids are like gripping the cup but like shaking because it's their chance. They can do it too, but they're nervous. That's definitely affected some people that can do it as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a big stage to jump onto. It's their one chance to...
For sure. Yeah, there's definitely nerves in play here.
Yeah.
Wow. What a story, Deutsch. I didn't realize all this.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. There's been ups and downs, but it's been a good time for the most part.
And you faced Kelsey in a chug off too, or?
Yeah, Kelsey did one with us, and he's pretty quick, but he doesn't pour it down.
Yeah.
He was really good. He did one out of like the German Stein, which I think is a liter. The more alcohol, like in a pitcher or in one of those Steins, the pour down isn't as effective as like people who take like really quick gulps.
Yeah.
So Taylor Lewan was also very quick out of a Stein. It would have been interesting going against him as well when he used to do that big like beer bash summer
Olympics. Yeah.
the beer Olympics. Yeah,
I was there once. It was quite the scene.
Oh, it looked awesome. I wanted to get invited because I actually met Will here at one of the case races, and I got his number, and he's like, yeah, we'll definitely have you. I think probably with their relationship with Bud Light, they're probably like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
It's promoting too much binge drinking.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's my guess why they didn't do it.
Yeah, did they not do it last year?
No, they didn't.
Oh, I didn't know they didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. Man. Is there, so you're telling me anyone who sees you, you'll chug a beer with them?
Jesus, you're having me. I'm moving to Chicago now, so that's going to.
That's what I'm worried about you. Things are going to change for you the longer you're here and the more. Like,
yeah, I mean, for the most part, I do, but it's usually not like 10 people. A lot of times, it's convenient if I show up to a bar and I haven't had a beer.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can get 2 or 3 freebies.
You should have like a tally marker, and everyone should know.
Yeah.
Set a number, and be like, I'm only doing 5 a night.
Yeah.
And then if someone walks up to you, come on, and you just show them, be like, hey, man, sorry, we're sold out.
Yeah.
We're closed.
I actually did turn somebody down just because you end up getting sick of beer. I've started drinking a lot of high noons.
Oh, so you're sick of beer.
It's just something different. You could drink so many beers. It's like I'm drinking beers that's like I'm at work.
Is there any beers that you would like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that one?
I don't like any kind of IPA.
Okay.
Any light beer I'm pretty
good with.
Fine with. I really liked garage beer. What I look at is like the calories in like garage beer is 95 calories, 3 grams of carbs.
Mm-hmm.
You drink 10 of them, it's under 1,000 calories.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Damn. This was such a comprehensive breakdown of drinking beers.
Yeah, I hope it was...
Do you ever want to stop?
No, I love it. It's so much fun. Like, the thing is, if I went out to dinner, I'd drink water or I'd drink soda. Like, I try to only drink beers on the weekends, unless there's something, a special occasion or something like that.
Has someone ever tried to get you to do hard alcohol?
No. I mean, that's what's crazy is seeing the people who have gotten really big doing that.
Oh, yeah, like the Shoe Nices and the Steve Will Do It.
Steve will do it, but I saw a buddy in college who was a lot bigger than me, height and weight. He funneled half a handle of Captain Morgan's, and he turned blue, started choking on his tongue, and we had to take him to the hospital to pump his stomach. He's 6'8", 270. Steve will do it. I don't know how tall Steve is. He might be like 5'6". What he had to do to pound that and then get it all out of his system before he died, that's not worth it.
Yeah, because I think he said that on a recent podcast where, like, that's the truth that nobody really realizes or nobody wants to point at, but he'll puke it all up right away.
Oh, you'd die if you didn't.
You have to.
It's amazing. Like, a lot of I'd get, like, I remember one video Steve did, he shotgunned like 12 beers or 12 seltzers, whatever it was, like over the sink. But every one he did, he was like, he probably did the first 4 or 5, and then after that, he just kept throwing up. So people would like tag me in the video and be like, Steve did this, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to throw up.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it to the point where I'm throwing up.
Yeah. Fair. I think that's fair.
Unless I'm doing the 999.99,
And we get to puke during the 7th.
I'm willing to do it once a year.
Yes. Damn, man. That is this is fascinating. So you're at 38. You feel like you found your first career.
Turning 37 March 2nd.
37. Sorry.
Same birthday as Dr. Seuss.
That's pretty awesome. You fired up like.
Oh, I'm happy. My family's so happy.
That's awesome.
There's only so many things I could have done. I wasn't going to grind out another tailgate season.
No.
Like, if you think about it, so I'd fly to wherever I was going. I'd DoorDash 2 12-packs. I'd DoorDash a table. I'd put all the beer in my backpack. I'd break down the 12-packs so I could then tape them back together. But I was carrying everything by myself. The last year, I didn't have anybody with me. So I just go up to a random group of tailgaters and be like, hey, I like the view here. The stadium's in the background. Do you mind if I set up my table here? People were usually cool with it because they'd get to watch. But I didn't have the first year, my girlfriend filmed everything and helped me. We broke up, and then this year, I was doing it by myself. So anyone filming was just a random person that was standing there.
That is not great because you don't know I'm sure you got many videos back and there's a finger in it or something they didn't.
If you give it to a girl or a woman between like 18 and 30, they know
they get it done.
They're better than I am.
Yeah.
But if they're not around, you give it to like a 50-year-old guy, you do your chug, and the guy, because the guy, it's all about getting the biggest character. I'm doing the same thing every single time. You need like a 7-foot guy, a weird guy, a guy shirtless in the cold, dressed weird. You need that to be the first video so people will stay and watch the whole thing.
And was it a pretty good monthly payment?
It was more than I'd made before.
Like thousands?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You were making a good living, but it just the DoorDash and the whole repetition of it was just kind of old for you?
It got old. It got really old. And then I also, like, everyone's like, it must be so much fun. I'm like, well, I'm not there with my friends. I'm not going into the game because I have all my stuff. Uber back to the hotel, watch it in the hotel, or go to a bar and get food. But it was not as much fun as everybody thought it was. Like, people see the video and they're like, oh, that's awesome. But to actually get to Green Bay or get to, I don't know, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Tampa, it's a lot to actually
to do, yeah.
To get there and make it happen by yourself and trying to do it as cheap as you possibly can.
I always liked when you'd theme it out too. I remember the first time I met you, I ran into you on Bourbon Street. I was with Dana.
Oh yeah.
And you were in full Bobby Boucher from the Waterboy gear.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, Deutsch loves dressing up. Deutsch loves, and it can be fun, but what everybody has to realize is I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. There needs to be a theme. If I was just wearing like normal clothes, I don't think it would have done
the same
as well.
Yeah, and it's also you differentiate each video. It's like, oh, he's in a new setting. He's got a new guard, like, you know.
Depending on fan base or whatever, or where I am in the country, I'll do something that relates to that specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the first video I saw of yours was you dressed up as Bartman and you drank on a rooftop, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
And I think you crushed a regular 99.9 in like 3 innings.
Yeah, I think it was 4 innings.
Yeah, just mowed it down.
And then I think after that, I came here and we had one of the first case races that I did.
Okay, that was your first one?
Yeah.
Incredibly impressive beer drinker, man. Has there been any problems when you go to these tailgates? Like, have you ever had an issue? Anyone get really mad that you beat them or something?
The only problem that I have is people wanting to film me but getting in front of my footage. And it's like, all right, I'll just stop until you guys back up. Mm-hmm. Or like if the person filming me is like, hey, can you guys back up? And the person like starts yelling at them. That's the only time I get mad.
Okay.
Because I'm like, it's great that you want to get this content, but I've flown all over the country to be here right now.
Uh-huh. I have to get this. What's your most memorable chug?
That's a good question. I did one of those. That's a really good question. I think I did, the first time I did a 40, and I was like 16 or 17. I put it in like a vase, a vase, whatever you call it. And I did that at a party, and I was like, wow, that was the first time I think I did more than like one beer, and it was a 40. And after one of those, I was like out of my mind.
Yeah, you were tough.
But it was before social media. I mean, those were the days when girls were going out, high school or college, and they had digital cameras.
Yeah.
They didn't have, everybody had a flip phone.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was taking videos of anything. That was just, you'd do something like that, and you and your buddies would talk about it the next day at school, and that's as far as it ever went.
Yeah. Who's your dream chug guest? Do you have one?
I mean, I really wanted to chug with Chestnut. I've chugged some beers with Chestnut. Pat
He's
Mac.
pretty strong too, right?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He'd kill me in volume.
Joey Wood?
The volume that the professional eaters can put down. I did one in Chicago a couple weeks ago with Bertoletti.
Yeah, Pac.
And he drank 6 before I drank. I just got too full on the 5th one.
Yeah.
But those guys
Tanks are crazy.
They could pour down 2 or 3 gallons of water,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing when you think about how big 1 gallon is.
Yeah.
I'd struggle to even finish one.
Yeah.
It's just you can't compete with that kind of volume.
Mm-hmm.
But I did one with Pat McAfee. That was pretty cool. I've seen him chug pretty quick before, and he was so nice. He stayed in West Virginia after his show, and every single person that wanted a photo with him or an autograph, he was FaceTiming people's grandmothers. I was standing there waiting for 3 hours, and he was so nice that he chugged a really warm garage beer with me, like no questions asked.
Did he know who you were?
I don't think so.
No shit.
Nope.
That's awesome.
Nope. I explained to him everything because he's like, hey, he was looking at me like, this guy's old. He's like, do you go to school here? And I was like, no, I'm 35. I live in New Hampshire. And he's like, I think he got a kick out of it, but it's awesome that he stuck around for that long. And because that got me huge points with the garage beers, that I got a garage beer in Pat McAfee's hand the first week that I went out there to make content.
Were they bummed to lose you?
I don't really think they're just blowing up so big. They have the Kelseys, and they're just doing so well that I don't think they wanted me to go more like not doing my own thing.
Yeah.
They wanted me to fly to the places like college campuses, or they have an opening or stuff like that. It's just not as much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to Oklahoma State, and I had to do the beer table at 4 different bars. That's a lot of drinking.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, you got to go here, you got to be here, you got to do this. It's more fun when I can just show up.
Do what you want, yeah.
You know what? Some tailgate, it can be so confusing trying to figure out some tailgates have 20 different lots.
What's the most confusing place you've been so far?
Let's see.
Like, what was a mess? You're like, I don't understand what they were doing.
Purdue was kind of confusing. It seemed like there were a lot of different lots. The best lot that I went to was last year. I went to Indiana, and it's just one wide open field.
For football or basketball?
For football.
Okay.
It was one wide open field. I didn't have to do any research. I didn't have to figure out where I had to go. I got to the field, and there were just tens of thousands of people partying, and I just found the right spot. The last thing I want to do is worry about walking around the stadium. I'm already carrying too much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice.
Deutsch, this was great.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything we didn't cover?
No, I think this is the longest I've ever talked straight. So I'll have to think about it afterwards. But
yeah, I don't think we talked about your job history and, drinking beers, but, that's a good place to start. We'll do this again now that you're full time.
Yeah, we can cover some more subjects next time.
Yeah, for sure. But I really enjoyed it, dude.
I really enjoyed it too.
And congratulations. That's awesome. I'm excited. I've always enjoyed chopping it up with you, so I'm excited to see how full time goes, dude.
Yeah, I couldn't be any more excited. I'm so lucky to be here and working for this company and being able to do this with guys like you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Deutsch. Appreciate you, man. And where could people follow you and everything?
At Ronny Deutsch, RonnyDoitche.
Perfect. Let's go find the real Ronny Deutsch. Well, the other Ronny Deutsch. You're the real Ronny Deutsch, too.
That would be a dream. Thanks, Eddie.
Thanks, Deutsch. All right, that's it, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next week.